Gaglione here. Today I'm going to do a heavy sumo deadlift, more for fun, also to promote our July 18th socially distanced deadlift event, which is going to be RPS heat wave dead weight. I'm getting one last heavy pull out of my system. So what I wanted to show you guys today is some movement preparation and what we call activation drills before sumo deadlifting. So a couple of differences between kind of stretching on an off day and what you're going to do in preparation for your workout is going to be, you don't necessarily really want to loosen up the spine too much. You don't want to get too mobile or flexible, but you do want to be mobile enough and stable enough to hold the positions of whatever competition or whatever movement you're training that day. So for me, I haven't done really sumo deadlifts in a while in my competition stance with my competition equipment. So this is going to be interesting to say the least, but I feel good, I'm excited, and I want to show you guys some things that I do to prep my hips before I pull. Out of all the movements, the sumo deadlift's, in my opinion, the most technical. It's a lot more technical than a conventional, and I believe it's more technical than the bench in many cases, and definitely the squat. So it takes a little bit more preparation, and some people, especially bigger guys, like when I was heavier, it was a lot harder to get in position. So I want to do just enough to mobilize my hips, and then we're going to do some things to kind of potentiate and kind of activate the muscles of the glutes, the lats, and the upper back, so I can stabilize that bottom position, because how you start is going to yield how you finish. So ingraining and having the preparation for that start is going to be key. So the first thing I'm going to start out, I'm going to do some mobility stuff first for my hips, my ankles, my upper back, and then we're going to kind of set that in place with some upper back activation and glute activation and kind of overall trunk and core activation. So this first drill I like to do with the TRX. You could do this with a pole, you could do this whatever, but this is kind of what we call a Cossack squat, which essentially is kind of like a static side lunge. And this is primarily to open up the groin. So one of the things with your sumo deadlifting is you need a lot of external rotation of the hip. And if your adductors, if your inner thigh is restricted, that is going to be a problem when kind of getting into your bottom position. And then from here, I can go into a wide kind of squat position, and I'm really trying to drive open my hip and kind of feel that position. I'm trying to imagine getting my hips, visualizing getting my hips close to the bar, pushing my big toe into the ground and opening up. I don't want to roll. I want to keep my big toe down, so I have 3 points of contact. My big toe, little toe, and heel is in contact with the floor. That's a common mistake. You'll see too much weight roll on the outsides of the feet. From here, I can open up my lats, my chest a little bit, and also stretching my bicep to make sure I can get my arms as long as possible. And notice I'm kind of doing this in a dynamic fashion. So another consideration is making sure that bicep is not restricted, so I can keep my arms as long as possible. Now we're going to do a little bit more stretching really quick for the groin. So I'm trying to keep my chest up and be as long as possible. Also working on hip extension for that lockout. And now from here, we're going to start to set it with some stability. And so this is kind of a combination drill. This is my favorite. This is called a shin box. So I like you guys to start off figure 4 position. Try and get our pelvis stacked, our rib cage stacked over our pelvis. So I want to start off here first, and then eventually, once I'm ready, I'm going to let go of my hands. If you're a beginner, keep your hands on the floor. So I might do a couple of reps here. So I'm working on hip extension with rotation. So I'm working internal and external rotation of the hip. And this feels pretty good, which is usually a good indication we're gonna have a good day today. So I'm loading and extending. That feels pretty darn good. So I'm gonna move to the next side. So this hip's a little bit tighter on this side, so I'm going to be mindful of that. And then once I'm ready, So I'm working both flexibility, mobility, and stability at the same time. Now we're going to work on activation. So I'm using a hip circle now. This is just going to fire things up a little bit more. It's a bird dog, so I'm going to hold for time. Squeeze my glute, my core, trying to minimize spine extension. Upper back drills, working on getting my arms long, reaching up, anti-shrug, long arms, flexing my lats. Thinking about keeping that bar close. I'm going to do a little bit more deadlift specific drills. If you use any band for this. So I'm working on, this is kind of mimicking the bar kind of getting pulled out in front of me, so I need to engage the lats and shove my knees out. Trying to engage the slack in the band. My lats are not on. Now my lats are on. If there's slack in the band here, hips aren't on. So I need my hips and my lats to be coordinated. And then from there, I might just do a little bit more patterning with a heavier weight. Pause. Leg drive, hip extension. That's a great prep. We did our mobility, we did our activation, and we did some patterning for the skill. Now we're gonna do some sumo deadlifts. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the content, check out the links below. Please subscribe, and until next time, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.